Hello everyone, this is Tim400 and welcome back. This video is the tutorial / explanation of the new 3x3 that I released about a month ago. This design surpasses the first version in its clocking speed, and I can demonstrate that with this clock right here. So as you can see, the door is able to close the moment that it becomes seamless, which happens right there, which was not possible in the first design. This door also comes with a very satisfying shutter animation, which is, I think it's the first of its kind like this, but it's very hard to see when it's running at full speed. I can show you the other side of the door too. And here you can see most of the layout working. I should also mention that the mod I'm using to speed up and slow down the game is the game speed mod, so I would check it out. It's very useful. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get on with the tutorial. Here's your door frame, and start with the layout. You want to place a block here, then 2 sticky pistons facing down, and then a block here, another 2 sticky pistons, then another block here, and then another 2 sticky pistons. Then you want to place 2 blocks like this, and then this will form the first piston extender right here, the double that will get this block. You want to place 3 sticky pistons like so. Then you want to come out 1, sticky pistons like so, and this will be used for the double that will get the center block. And then for the other part of the side extender, you want to come back here, place 4 sticky pistons like so, and then an additional fold for the double extender. And then we want to place 2 sticky pistons here, and these will be hidden behind the wall like so. Now for the obsidian, this will keep the layout from breaking due to parts of the wiring. You want to place 1 here, and then 1 down here, and that's your entire layout done. The input for this door is very simple. You just want to come up to this piston here, come out 2, and then up 3. And then this is going to be part of where our input is. You want to go over, then down to a slab, and then 2. And then you want to place 2 blocks here, a block up, and just redstone going across. And that will be it. The orange circuit is where we finally start to get serious. So first off, flick this lever on. When the lever is on, the door is actually open, so it's opposite from most doors. Anyways, we want to start with a sticky piston down here, block, and this will activate the abba circuit that starts the closing. So what we want to do is have 3 dust, like so, and this will block off a signal, and we'll have a furnace here for later. This will power a sticky piston, and this sticky piston will have a redstone block on it. And here's the start of the abba module. So we want this redstone to come up just like so. And we'll get an updater piston ready right here, and that will feed into the next module. So I'll have a sticky piston there, and then this redstone block will power dust, and here are the updater pistons, and this dust will come over here to power this. And then for the next module we have these. You can see that this redstone block buds this sticky piston here, which is actually why we have the obsidian at the bottom here. this will keep it from breaking. And now for the last module, we just want to continue over like so. And to wire up this last one, it's a little weird, but we don't really have a choice. We have dust here, block it off, then come around like so. And then you want to have a slab and then a block here, and this will power a regular piston facing in. And then we want to add updated pistons right here and right here, and these will power this when necessary. So all in all, what this does is that it spits out these blocks, and then it shuffles in these sticky pistons in the appropriate way. So it'll just push this down and then push this in, like so. Okay, so right now we have most of the orange circuit wired up, but we have not done these sticky pistons right here, so we'll just do that like so. Just run a line all the way across, and a slab and a block there, place dust all over and right there too, and get a couple activator rails, like so. Now, we can actually test this really quickly, so if we just unflick this lever, we can see that we have the L shape of blocks right there, and these were pushed into place. You can see that right there. Now, I'm going to flick that lever back on and reset it just by placing a torch, like so. And what we need to do now is to give another pulse to this line, so that this dust will power this sticky piston and complete the double extender at the center level of the door. So in order to do that, we actually come all the way up here, a furnace, and a sticky piston, and this will have a block out here. And this block will be powered by a locked repeater. So we'll just power this repeater back here and place any item into that furnace. And then we want to place 3 slabs like so. It does not matter that this actually connects to the input. That's actually why we have a slab here, it's just so it doesn't interact improperly. So we want to place a sticky piston facing down here, get a block here and run dust like so. And this sticky piston will block off dust, which will be powered by a sticky piston with a redstone block here. And this sticky piston will also be powered by this sticky piston, which is powered by a comparator. We want to get our only hopper in the door and place any item inside. And then we want to make sure that it updates by a activator rail right here. And then so this block buds the sticky piston, but we need to update it like so. And this will actually create the 0 tick pulse we need. So now if I test that again, we can see that the sticky piston is now at the correct level. So now if I just bring that up and I power that to lock it and torch, everything fixes itself. So that is most of the orange circuit. Now one last thing we need to add is this sticky piston with the block, and we'll have a comparator here with 2 shovels inside, and that is to make sure that this piston retracts as soon as possible on the opening edge. And that will be it for the orange circuit. The Sine circuit deals mainly with the outside of the door and the first pulses on the bottom. So to start that, we want to come over here and we want to leech off the orange circuit, bring a signal down onto a slab and just navigate it all the way over here. And these side pistons will be powered by this slab. And we want to cut off that signal so the dust on the slab actually points into the pistons. And now here we actually use what I think is the first form of a downwards zero tick repeater that has no reset. So there are actually a couple interesting things going on here. Let me just get some of it in place, like so, just follow along. And have a normal piston right here, and a sticky piston there. And we want to have redstone block, and dust here, regular piston there, and dust here. So there are a couple interesting things going on here. The first is this rail being powered by this redstone block. The thing is, for the orange circuit, the first pulse that comes through here is from this abba module, and that is just way too early because the sine circuit actually connects to the lime circuit over here, and that has to have a lot of delay on the closing. So what we do is we filter out that pulse by having this rail not update the piston properly. But then the second pulse that comes through this line, which is from this generator right here, that one will affect this zero tick pulse generator, and it will go through. Now, this pulse generator in itself is, I think, a very new concept. Well, not a new concept, but the implementation is very new. The way it works is that it just cycles in redstone blocks so that the reset stays as quick as possible. And it's useful because it goes downwards, which is exactly what we needed here. So anyways, to wire up these two pistons, we just want to bring this over. Let's get a slab and come up here, like so. And then to power this, we just want to come back over, like so. And then this is, in order to make sure that this functions properly, we just want to bring a slab, a block, then we want to get a normal piston right here. That will update this, and it'll cycle the blocks around. And then we also need a regular piston facing up here, 2 blocks, and a regular piston facing down. And we want to power this dust here to power the block when it gets pushed up. Now, what this does is that it keeps these side sticky pistons extended so that this sticky piston right here cannot push, which is actually very useful because in the orange circuit, we have this thing which is supposed to extend, which is supposed to be able to retract this sticky piston instantly on the opening, but at the same time, it's getting powered, this sticky piston, at the wrong time, so this keeps it from pushing all the blocks over. Alright, so now we need to be able to link this to the lime circuit, so that will be next. So the lime circuit deals with how to get the center block out of the center and into the center of the door. So first of all, let's place back that wall block. And now in order to link the sine circuit to the lime, first what we want to do is place 2 blocks here, well 3. We have 2 dust there, and sticky piston there. With a block, we have a torch here, and then we can see that this is getting budded, so we want to make sure that there's an updater for that. And the reason we have a block on the face of that sticky piston is to keep it 1.5 friendly. And then we want to have a regular piston here and there with a redstone block right there. And what this does is that it keeps this lime circuit from recoiling on the opening when it shouldn't. And then finally, we want to complete this abba module for the lime circuit with the redstone block right there and a sticky piston. Make sure to place a rail right there to make sure that this gets updated properly. And then also place a tripwire hook right here to redirect this dust so it doesn't interfere. And now we want to wire this over, so just place 4 more blocks, and then we want to start bringing this up like so. And this will power this wall block to power this sticky piston right here. And now another thing, we can actually complete the Sine Circuit. So part of the Sine Circuit is actually pushing in this sticky piston right here to finish the double extender. So we can do that with the block there. And then we also need to come around. Oops. Let's get that off. Like so. I have a sticky piston here, the block. This will be powered by a comparator. Let's get a furnace. Place a block in there. And then we want this to bud power this sticky piston, which will be powered by a comparator, and this will only have a strength of 3 redstone dust right here. So we only want to place 7 snowballs. Don't ask why there's snowballs. It just makes sense. Okay. We actually do not need an updater for the sticky piston because there's enough pulses going around on other circuits, so don't worry about that. Anyways, to continue the abba circuit, we want to place a sticky piston here, and right here we want to place another with the redstone block, and we want to power this just directly like so. And then we want to make sure that that block gets powered when it's in this position with torch and dust. And then over here we want to have dust come around like so. This will power this block, which will power the sticky piston in this position. Now, right now, let's see, we're going to build the next module and then I'll explain something real quickly. Alright, let me just place the updater pistons for this right there. And then we want one that is actually right under there, facing down. Let's just place that back. Okay, so in its current state, this circuit is actually locational. Everything happens in the correct order, everything is sequentially correct, but it's 1 microtick too fast, so it will be unreliable. The way I worked around this was to actually delay the pulse here by 1 microtick, and I did that by blocking off the signal. So like this, we'll have dust over here, and then we'll have another block powered by comparator. Place any block inside, any stackable item inside, and then we want to update this, and then on a slab, dust, and this slab, even though it's not like physically touching the piston head, it will still update it. So that's how that works, and that's how we keep this system reliable. Now for the final abba module, just want to come over here, place a piston, sticky piston, and then a redstone block right there. And we can run this up and just get a bunch of slabs going in a line like so. Then we want to have a block here and then a slab here. And we cannot just place a block here because there are other pulses that run through here in the opening. So we have a filter like so. We place a sticky piston and a block. And what this sticky piston does is that it will extend the block when the pulse is needed, and it will retract the block when it's not needed. And it's controlled by the abba gate, so it's completely safe. Anyways, that is pretty much it for the lime circuit, if I'm not mistaken. Before we move on to the yellow circuit, I actually did make a mistake with the lime circuit. I forgot the return dust right here to make sure that the abba gate works in both directions. And then also we need a double trapped chest here. And what this does is it redirects the dust from pointing into this piston. And for versions before 1.16, it redirects this dust to keep it from powering this block here so that it doesn't interfere with this sticky piston. Anyways, for the yellow, let's just hop right into it. So we'll start at the top up here, and we'll start by actually placing a minecart. So this is the first time I've actually ever used a minecart inside a fast contraption, but here it's just have to be very useful. If you are in some earlier versions of Minecraft, hopper hitboxes are a little different, so place a cobblestone wall here just to be safe. I know in the latest versions of Minecraft you do not need it, but if you are for some reason playing in like, I don't know, 1.5, place it so that the minecart actually stays in the place it needs to be. So to place this minecart, you just have to place one and then place another and break it really quickly. And that is actually it. So place a block here and then place a sticky piston. We'll place a block here and place a sticky piston right there and a detector rail. So this detector rail will actually get activated by this minecart. I can prove that actually by removing this dust. You can see that it activates if we just place our 2 dust here. Yeah, they get powered. And it works pretty much like a redstone block. Now this dust will power a sticky piston with a redstone block. And this will power another sticky piston with a redstone block like so. Now, then this will power another rail, and this will bud power another sticky piston with a redstone block. So there are a bunch of other rails that we need to place in before this starts to make sense, so we'll just do that really quickly. So first off, let's place 2 blocks there and a furnace. And then rail, rail, rail. Want all of these to be connected up to here. And then we want, actually, this is part of the orange circuit. But yeah, we want all of these rails to be connected. And then we want to have 2. We want to have these 2 right here. And then for later, we're going to place a comparator right there, otherwise it's going to be very annoying to reach. So this is, believe it or not, a 0-tick generator for this sticky piston right here. So what happens is that when this I'm going to remove that dust. So what happens is this rail retracts and gets powered, and it powers all of the rails, and then it powers these two sticky pistons to bud this sticky piston. Now I'm going to remove the dust, and then you can see that it's zero-tipped. Now the reason it did that is because when we depower the rail, we depower this first row of rails going along here, and that will update the sticky piston to extend. Then 2 microticks later, these rails will be depowered because this redstone block moved away, and that creates our zero-tick poles. It is very unconventional, but it worked out very well. Now, another reason why having a detector rail here is a very good idea is that it redirects this redstone dust. So as you can see, this dust line is actually powered by this abba module down here, and that is useful to reduce the reset time on the closing. However, on the opening, it'll also send a pulse that we do not want, so this detector rail will protect this sticky piston from getting powered when it shouldn't. Alright, so now to create the abba module for the yellow circuit. The yellow circuit deals with the second fold for the side double extender here. Now to do that, we want to place this back up, and we want to place a block there and a sticky piston, and here we want to place a sticky piston there. So this creates our first abba module. This form factor is this is the disjointed form of the abba circuit. It's not like the typical module that you can copy paste, but I made it vertical so that we could fit it into the size frame. So this is the first abba module. The second one, you want to place a regular piston here, and then a sticky piston there. Now we're going to wire up these two before we get onto the third part, because there are 3 parts to this circuit here. We want to first retract that, then we want to retract those blocks, and then we want to power these. So we're going to do these 2 first real quickly. So these ones are very easy. They're right next to the abba module. So what we can do is place 2 slabs, and then 2 blocks here, and we can place a regular piston there to update this sticky piston. And then for updating this on the opening, or not the opening, but the final move, we need to come up with a different way to update it, because this updater piston gets powered when it shouldn't, and that can create a lot of problems. So we'll just have redstone block here, and then a regular piston right here, and that will control it just the way we want to. Alright, so now to wire up these sticky pistons, we want to come over here with a slab, and then come up like so. This should be a slab, so we'll just replace that. Then we want to come up, and then down, and then up with a slab. And then we want to come down like so. We also want to block off that signal. We definitely do not want those to merge. And then we want to place a block there, and then a block. Here we have 2 rails. This will update that sticky piston right there, just so that we don't have any microtick offsets. And then we could just place dust going all the way over. Another thing, we want to place our updater piston here, for this piston and this piston for the abba modules. And then now to hook up the last part of the abba, we want to place a slab here, and then a sticky piston facing down with a redstone block. And down below we'll just have a sticky piston to return that. Now, we do not want this to power twice. We only want it to power once on the opening. So what we do is we actually use this abba circuit to control that for us. And then on top of that, we also have an additional controller here. So we'll just place like so. So make sure that these rails stay connected and that this one is alone. We use this redstone block and the comparator power right here to power this at the right time, and this should be over like so. And this will control the final pulse of the abba. Now, before we go on, I'm going to actually finish off the orange. We are not quite done with it. We need to create the return circuit, and that involves bud powering this guy right here. And the way we do that is very simple. We have two pieces of dust here, and then just have dust here, sticky piston, and a redstone block. Now, this will create a problem, but because this redstone block will end up spit out over here when we do not want it to. So the way you fix that is like so, and place a piston here. This will update this sticky piston or to keep it from getting butted, and it will also act as a immovable block. Now another thing, this redstone dust does get powered by this redstone block when it gets pushed over, but that doesn't matter because whenever this sticky piston needs to get powered, that redstone block is gone. Alright, finally, now to move on to the bottom, we'll just have blocks going down like so, dust here to a slab, and this will come up and power these two pistons right here. And then it will also come down and power this. We will place an updater piston right here so that this will shoot the redstone block up at the right time. And then here we want to place a block, a slab, and two blocks, dust, and two repeaters, and this will, this is the return circuit for this abba gate. It will shoot everything back the way it should be. Alright, so we are almost done. So right now we have most of this done, so I can demonstrate it like so. So that's what we have so far, and we can actually get this piston to fire if we just add this dust and the block, because when in the order that we fire everything, when we power this abba to get the center block out, at the same time we also power this block here, and it's in the perfect position. So what we need to do is give this a second pulse in the opening, and let me just repair everything really quickly. To do that, we'll just have a simple zero tick generator here. That should do it. So that will actually do everything for the opening, or at least for this. And I'll just do a quick check to make sure that I didn't miss anything, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so it turns out there is one mistake that I made, and it's just to actually hook up the return signal into the abba circuit like so. But that is actually it. So now if you test your door, it should work just fine. So for the input, you can actually, this input is very flexible. You can bring it wherever you like. So I can bring dust out of it like so, and it will still work. Or you can use a repeater if you like. So like so. And this works for torch. This works for pretty much anything. I will actually show you all how to clock this right now, if your heart so desires to see it working in its full glory. So yeah, just place 2 dust like so. Let's place all of this. Alright, so this is the clock that you need, and in order to stop it, let's just place a sticky piston here and power it. So you can just power this sticky piston however you like. You can use repeater, torch, dust, whatever you want. And we can control the clock just from here and just hook it in like so. And there we go. So now to fill it in, you can just use any blocks you like in any of these spots. And that should be it. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope you learned something from it. I really enjoyed making this door, even though the yellow circuit was very annoying, but yeah, I hope you all can get this working. I will include a Lightmatic schematic in the description of this video. If it's not out at the time of the release, I promise I'll get it out within a week. And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care.